All right, Browns front office on the move, looking to make a big splash. Now, we heard about the potential of this Cleveland Browns front office wanting to move up and down the draft board. Now, it came as a surprise when we heard that they may be looking to move up from the number 6 pick. But now it is coming out that they may be looking to trade and get a veteran offensive tackle or a veteran wide receiver. A.J. Brown's on the market. There's some names out there. We got to break this down. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit that bell notification, and hype the video. That would be greatly appreciated. We have to get into this. So the Cleveland Browns GM, Andrew Berry, is looking to make major moves, and it hasn't stopped at free agency, and it won't stop with rookie additions in the draft. He may be looking to bring in a big fish at the wide receiver position because we know Jerry Jeudy is not enough. He's not a number 1 wide receiver, and there's still a major void at left tackle. Baskin Phelps broke this thing down. We got to take a listen.
Pete said 24, first round.
To the Browns.
To the Browns, yeah.
If it's still an issue, wouldn't that make perfect sense at 24?
What's the issue?
The issue is, what's Todd Monken think? Does Todd think, Deshaun?
What is Todd Monken going to learn about his quarterbacks between now and the draft? That's my question. Enough to say we've got to draft this kid?
Possibly, yes.
Wow.
And he's going to break down tape like crazy.
Also, are you handing that first-round pick to your head coach if you're the general manager?
No, but if you're the general manager, you haven't gotten quarterback right yet. Maybe you should listen to somebody else.
It's not how you become a GM in the National Football League. I don't think you're listening to anybody else. You can't because if you don't want it to.
Maybe
if it's going to cost you your job.
Deshaun Watson's here.
Maybe Deshaun Watson wasn't his call.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How's that happen? You listen to somebody else.
That's right. Listen to somebody else and barely hang on to your job. At least that's the way it looks on the outside. Where on the inside, it doesn't feel that way at all.
If the Browns evaluate Simpson highly, and Monken likes him, now those are two big ifs.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you take him?
Absolutely. You would take him. Jeff, we argue about a lot of things, but if you think Ty Simpson is a game changer, if you think Ty Simpson can lead your team to the promised land, then 6 is no price.
If you think he's going to be as good as Kirk Cousins in his heyday,
okay,
you might have to take him.
Okay, you're not filling me with enthusiasm. I wish you could find another
but Kirk
quarterback.
Cousins has made a lot of money and has played some pretty good football.
Yeah, but made a lot of money.
No, but he's played some pretty good football.
Okay,
that's the second part of that.
Is that what we're going for? Pretty good football. Biggest contract in the history of icebergs.
Eastern Michigan, hoping to one day be a head coach in the NFL.
I'm going to be honest with you, Jeff. I'm surprised
to me that you follow a similar little vein of conversation there.
No, I've just absorbed this through osmosis, like the Wonder Twins, shape of water, form of what?
If Monken likes Simpson.
Demon was one of them. I always thought osmosis was more falling asleep on the textbook and hoping that you remember biology in the morning.
If Monken likes Simpson.
It doesn't work that way? No wonder I had such bad grades.
And Andrew Berry reads what Paul DePodesta left behind, and it says, we like Simpson. Why wouldn't you draft him?
How do we did I miss something, or did DePodesta say that he wanted Simpson?
I was kind of trying to be cute.
Okay.
How'd that go?
Well, I just got really worried there because it sounded like you were telling something.
You know why DePodesta likes Simpson?
You mean like when presidents leave notes to the next president?
Thinks he'd play a fine left field.
Oh, my God.
No.
We're in trouble.
No. Seriously, why wouldn't you take him?
I would take him. If they believe Ty Simpson is the guy to lead this franchise to the playoffs and beyond, do it.
If they think he could be a top half of the league quarterback.
Why do you sell it short? You better believe that if you're taking Ty Simpson at 6, he is going to take you deep into the playoffs, if not the Super Bowl.
Or 24.
At 24, just get me to the playoffs.
If they like him at 24, there's no question they have to take him there.
Well, they better believe you're going to the playoffs with him within 3 years?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm being generous, I think.
Sure. Mary Kay also said, trade a pick for a veteran player.
Yeah, I thought that
and we all
was
went,
interesting.
What would you trade him for? Would you trade the 24th pick for A.J. Brown, wide receiver, Eagles?
Be hard not to on that, don't you think?
I think you'd need to get a pick back.
I think it'd be pretty easy. He's 29, guys.
Yeah.
But Dano, if you made a trade like that,
Would you trade 6
And
or,
picked
or
up-
only
No, God, no.
24?
if
I
you
wouldn't trade 24 either.
if you gave
I don't want
if you gave up 24,
I think you can get him for less.
if you gave up 24 and got A.J. Brown and future draft assets. Remember, Andrew Berry worked with Howie Roseman for a year. There's a dialogue there. They could make something work.
Hey,
Right.
let's
He
go get
knows how
Philly
much of a
cheesesteak.
pain in the butt A.J. Brown is.
I'm not arguing with you there.
I think, Jeff,
I
every
think you'd
time
have
we
to get
think,
some draft capital back.
yeah, but every time we think this trade, like, and fans do this all the time, and I'm in that group. You're like, oh, you want to get A.J. Brown? You're going to have to give up 24 to do that. We overvalue someone because we're here. Can't you see? And we've seen other big name players get traded.
Like whom?
Get traded for less. Who have we seen get traded for less?
Oh, no.
Oh,
In other words, you think A.J. Brown might just bring a second?
maybe. It just depends on what Philly thinks.
I'd be hard-pressed not to give up 39 for him straight up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty decent deal, don't you think?
I would think that's real solid.
And headaches aren't a problem here. This is
The
I mean,
only,
wouldn't do it.
problem is
you would or wouldn't.
I got to pay him.
Oh, that's
I'm
true.
not
too.
handing out more contracts for was. I want to hand out contracts for is. And for what will be. If you pay A.J. Brown, you're paying him for was.
maybe.
Well, how much is longer on his contract? You know?
It's 1 year. That's the reason he's on the trade block right now.
Yeah, 1 year.
No way.
1 year.
No way. He wouldn't do it.
Well, you wouldn't give up a second-round pick for a guy on a 1 year deal.
Exactly.
You'd have to sign him to a
Have to-
contract.
I mean, goodness, you traded, what was it, a third-round pick? Was it a fourth-round pick for Jerry Jeudy? And then you had to hand him a contract.
I want to say it was a fifth, but
You think A.J. Brown's going to roll in here and not
no,
expect the contract?
A.J. Brown's not going anywhere without a contract.
I'm good. No, thank you. And it's the same thing with Brandon Ayuk. I'm good. No, thank you. I got enough headaches going on right now. I don't need more.
Ayuk could be a little bit of a...
I don't need to buy stock in acetaminophen. Trust me, we got enough headaches.
How'd Michael Pittman end up in Pittsburgh and Browns weren't in on that? Anyhow.
That's a really good question.
Yeah, anyhow.
I'd rather draft a wide receiver and then maybe wait for some kind of falling out. And then, Andy, I'm with you. Try to get as many draft picks for next year to get that Jeremiah Smith guy because I've heard he's pretty darn good.
I still have this one thought in my head that I like it a lot. Look around the league. Is there a quarterback sitting on somebody's roster
Yeah, I thought about
who
this.
could become your Brett Favre? And what do I mean by that? A guy who was in Atlanta and was a backup and